Hi, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with a stocks to watch video. Today is December 26, 2021. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. And I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. A couple quick notes before we get started. Also, I'm starting to use TraderSync to track my trades. It's a new tool I came across just recently, and so I'm really looking forward to start 2022 and really dig deep into my trades and I think that the metrics that this is going to give me, from performance to when I place my trades to average return, win percentage. I mean, there's tons and tons of reports and metrics that this offers. So I'm really looking forward to that. And the other thing is, if you're into crypto, Ryan Selkis, he's at 2-Bit Idiot on Twitter. He did a crypto thesis, which is free. You just go to his Twitter account, and it's 165 pages of just really in-depth where we are in crypto, where he thinks it's going. I'm about halfway through it right now, and it's just has been excellent. So again, he's at 2-Bit Idiot on Twitter. I'm at Alpha Charts 365. You probably should follow us both. All right, that's what I have as far as informational. Let's get to the charts. This is the Qs. I got much more bullish after this held and reversed higher, and so I have 18 names for you today, and I think there's a lot of beautiful things. You're going to see a lot of semiconductor themes in here. First one is Pi, which happens to be in that area. This was a large cup and handle look. It did break out, and then Thursday it looks like it's starting to move higher. So this is, in my opinion, not too far yet for an entry. If it comes back just a little bit, it'd be even better. But the uptrend is strong in this one. That's PI. LWLG. This one broke out, came back, and is retesting. You're seeing this dry up in volume, which is really nice to see as it's coming back in. Great risk reward area. That's LWLG. OMI. This is Owens and Minor, and you can see that this is making an inverse head and shoulders right here. The neckline being right around 47.50-ish or so, somewhere around there. You can even maybe have it, cheat entry down here if you want to, $46 or so. Anyway, it's making this inverse head and shoulders, has not confirmed yet. So just be aware of that, but you could probably use this VWAP from the big gap up over here on earnings as an area that has been resistance and now probably is going to be support. Now you have the 9-day coming above, so nice move higher right here. This one looks pretty good. OMI. Some old favorites coming up here. We have Datadog, DDOG, some nice accumulation happening over here. Here's the VWAP from the big gap, and now prices back above it. We have a bullish cross of the shorter term moving averages. So everything looks pretty good. Probably around 174-ish or so would be the place I'd probably manage risk on this one. But overall, really nice looking chart there. EDR, Endeavor Group. This one's kind of extended, so it's not one that I would probably jump into up here. Not my risk, that's too much risk for me. But if it tends to flag out here or come back and retest, 32.50-ish or so, maybe let these moving averages catch up a little bit. That would be pretty bullish. And you see, it's been just kind of riding them up for a while now, a little bit loose in there, but overall looks pretty good. EDR, during the entire, we'll call it correction in the last few weeks, this particular name has really shown some good relative strength. ARNC, Arconic, and let's go to weekly charts, and you'll see that this one has two levels that look to be important. This one is the big level, but this level right here is pretty important too. Oh, and by the way, on the weekly, all you're seeing is higher lows and higher highs We'll see if this gets there also, but a higher high would put it into breakout territory. But you see that this was the big level over here at $38, but we're at 32-ish. And let's go back to daily, and it's breaking out of this little double bottom right over here. Love that the undercut right over here, and then it just rocketed back up. Great volume coming in here. So this one looks really good. I think it could make it to $38 pretty easily, probably. And then we'll see. You know, maybe starting to get a little bit extended, but again, you know what your risk tolerance is. Zscaler. So this one again pulled back like everything else. Let's see what the pullback was for Zscaler, top to bottom. Top to bottom, it would be 30% pullback, right? So pulled back 30%, reset the chart, in my opinion, created this little bottoming look. Again, it's kind of short for a bottom, but okay, whatever. Where are we going to manage risk? Well, the way I look at it is that there was this VWAP after earnings, this earnings VWAP right here, and price above that. And now we have about to be a crossover of the moving averages shorter term. So that looks, a decent place to manage risk against. You could do it against, about 313 if you wanted to. This VWAP maybe is important. Really hasn't shown a ton of importance so far, but I would probably do it against the moving averages again. So you're looking at about 3% risk. Not too bad, right? That's ZS. MDB, MongoDB. Again, here's the VWAP from this gigantic gap, and it's kind of just been wide and loose in here, chopping around, but now it's starting to find some footing and has moved up pretty significantly. Maybe needs a little more time to digest, maybe needs to come back and chop around a little bit more, let the moving averages catch up again, but it's above all the major VWAPs that I can see. And again, trying, may find a little bit of supply in here, but I definitely would watch this area. And, if it pulls back into the moving averages, that's a place. Or if it kind of chops around and then breaks out, that'd be the other place you could potentially manage risk. GXO Logistics. GXO, you'll see, again, a newer IPO back in July, not a SPAC. That's good to know too. It kind of went up, came back, pulled back to this $83-ish area, found support, and then is now moving higher again. So it's above all its moving averages, trying to move higher. Not quite a bullish cross yet, but it looks like it's coming if it continues a little bit higher another couple days. So that one looks pretty good, moving higher. And again, this is the area that kind of held in here. Maybe you would say this is the area that kind of held. You see it's been a lot of supply in here. There's a volume shelf, I'm sure, right in here if we would put that on there. So again, held where it's supposed to. I guess that's what you want to see, right? Stocks holding where they're supposed to. GLBE, Global Online. So this one is above the VWAP from the IPO. Again, not a SPAC. Above the VWAP from the IPO, above the moving averages, which are close to bullishly crossing again. Still below this particular big volume day right here, VWAP. But that's okay. I mean, listen, it's just a point of interest. It happens to be also in the area of a high point of congestion right over here. For me, this particular name, I'd want to see it above 64.25, right? If it gets above 64.25, I think that's a nice long. Below it, still kind of loose in here, but it's definitely one to keep on the watch list, right? That's GLBE. Next up is ALGM. Beautiful looking chart right here. You have this cup, you have this kind of candle-ish look here. It's got this VCP contraction, right? Each pullback is shallower, right? That's exactly what you want to see in this type of situation, right? Especially in the handle of a potential cup and handle. Has not broken out yet. Very actionable name right here. 34.50-ish, right? I mean, it's at 34.49. It's actionable right here, right? Any strength is, in my opinion, a buy on this one. Looks great though. Again, another name that is just setting up beautifully. ALGM, maybe my favorite this week if it can have a little strength early on. Snow, right? That's another one. Look at this beautiful kind of cup, kind of handle. And in the end, it's the first true base from the IPO, right? So this IPO'd back in over a year ago, 2020. And now it's finally made its first real base, maybe a big cup and handle, right? It's pretty big, cup and handle. And now in the handle, you can use this downtrend line to, I guess, again, if it breaks above it, that may be where you want to manage risk. Again, these would then bullishly cross, and then you could use the moving averages to work your way up. I mean, so about $400 would be the upside first target, I would think. It's a round number, which matters, and it's where we found resistance in the past. And then you see what happens at that point. But yeah, great looking base in snowflake. Yeah, I would use this downtrend line right here as the potential place, and then the moving averages to ride it higher, hopefully. MP. So MP Materials, again, rare earth minerals company, and it kind of came up here, and then it kind of created this kind of base. Now it's kind of consolidating in a range. Good accumulation recently in this particular name, which is what I put on my list. And I'm watching it. It needs to kind of turn and get above 50, right? Above 50, you can manage risk there. Below 50 or in this range, I wouldn't touch it. It's just too volatile, and who knows what's going to happen with it. But again, I like the way that this accumulation is kind of happening. And so now if it starts to firm up and turn up, then maybe you could manage risk that way also. That's MP. Okay, AMD. So AMD had this beautiful uptrend, kind of came back, found its footing. You're about to get the bullish cross. Good action coming up to move higher. Probably going to meet all-time highs again, 163-ish, and then see what happens, right? Again, nobody knows, but again, looks pretty good. And larger term or longer term, you could see it's making higher lows the whole time. Here's just another potential higher low, right? So it's AMD, PSTG, Pure Storage. This one, again, gigantic amounts of accumulation going on in this particular name. This has been an important area since, for the last, 3 years. It broke out just recently on this day right here. That's where the VWAP is. And as you can see, price is back above this VWAP, and moving averages are bullishly aligned. It's giving you an opportunity on a smaller time frame to get in probably around here, right? So, breakout above 33, what is that, about 33.64-ish, 33.65, whatever, somewhere around there, would be a place to manage risk. It may need to chop around a little bit more, and if it does come back a little bit, I would use this VWAP as, or even the 23-day, they're roughly in the same spot, as a place to potentially manage risk. All right, that's PSTG. Again, semiconductors are the theme, I think, right now, showing tons and tons of strength. So here's MU. So there's things I really like about this. Again, look at this volume coming in, just beast. It is extended from its moving averages, so I don't think there's a time to plow into this. Even if it did move higher again, it would be even more extended. I'm looking for maybe something like this back into the moving averages and then out, right? So let's get my thing, right? Back into the moving averages and then out. Now, I may not get what I want, right? But that would be a much healthier breakout than it just breaking out and going wild right here. Again, great volume coming through, so we'll see what happens. Again, and it's not quite symmetrical either, right? This is a sharper return than this. Again, not my way of, not my love right there. So let it kind of build out the rest of the right side of the base, and then let it go. And then that would be a place that would really interest me. Again, it's coming up to that $100 or so level, so maybe it does shoot up to $100, and then it does it above here, right, and then goes higher, right? That's another option. STX, which is, I believe, Seagate Technology, another storage similar to PSTG. Again, this was a nice little cup and handle look to it. It did break out, depending on what your risk tolerance is. It's about 6.5, 6.75% above the 23-day EMA. You may want a smaller position size, and then you go into it right here. you could try to wait for a flag or a pullback, a retest, and then break out, then move higher. That would be a very high probability way to do it. Maybe it comes back and resets $104, $105. I don't know. But again, a nice looking pattern, decent accumulation going on in here, post dividend, which is nice too. So a lot of nice things happening with this one. That's Seagate Technologies. And my last one is Dollar Tree, or now should we change the name to $1.25 Tree? Again, it broke out of this giant area. Let's zoom in. And here's a VWAP from this gap through the breakout. Again, how strong is that? A gap through the breakout, 14% move right there. And VWAP has been very important since. It's now consolidating, tightening up really nicely. For me, the $135 range area, 135-ish, is where you could manage risk against. Again, a nice looking chart right here. Lots of people are jumping into this one. Heck, they raised prices by 25%. That's really good for profit margins, right? All right, that's what I got for you. 18 names. I hope you enjoyed it, got some value out of this one. I want to thank you on YouTube. I'm over 10,000 subscribers. I appreciate that. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. It really does help me out. And again, it shows me that you guys are enjoying my videos, keeps me making them. Yeah, again, if I missed some, go ahead and let me know below. Let me know how I did with this one. Tell me what I missed. Tell me which one you liked, which ones you've done well with. And I hope you all have a great week. Santa Claus rally starts on Monday, hopefully, and goes through the first 2 days of January. That's the official Santa Claus rally. So let's see if the markets can live up to the name of Santa Claus rally. Okay. Take care, everybody, and have a great day.